What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here helping you take your game to the next level. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing you the best defense in Madden 18, how the pros are playing defense this year. Now, if this is your first time checking out one of my videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe button below. Make sure that you hit the bell icon so that you join the notification squad and never miss an upload. So like I said, today's video, we're going to be going over what a lot of the pros are doing this year on defense. The best defense in the game, just from a base standpoint. Nothing pressure related, but something that's just hard to pass on, that stops, the pass and contains the run very well. And it is the 3-4 odd cover 4 drop show 2. Now, this defense has been popular for years now. It's definitely a good go-to base defense. But this year, more than ever, cover 4 is really, really good this year. So that really makes this defense something that a lot of the pros are running, and something that if you're good at usering over the middle of the field, it's going to be very hard to stop. So I'm going to show you kind of the reasons why this is good and the different ways we can set it up. Now, nothing's foolproof this year. Defense as a whole isn't the greatest, as you guys know, but this is going to be something that, again, unless you're playing somebody really good, you're going to get stops with this defense because it's just a pain to pass on consistently, and it's hard to run on. So the base setup for this, what I like to do is base align, which is wire triangle and then right on the left stick. I like to usually manually, if you have time, if you're quick enough to do it, I click onto my safeties and kind of just manually walk each of them down, just a few steps, just to get them a little bit closer in the box because it helps more in the run game. Now, the main thing with this play after you base align and just walk those safeties down is these purple zones. Purple zones aren't that good this year, as they haven't been good for years now. So you want to either have hard flats or cloud flats on the field. So if you want to put hard flats on the field, you just hit wire triangle and then down on the right stick. That puts hard flats on the field. If you want to put, so this is basically if you want to defend the flats, a tight end leaking to the flat, running back going to the flat, stuff like that, short out routes. If you think they're going to do that, you want to keep the hard flats on the field. If you're in third and short situation, you think they're going to hit the flats, put hard flats on the field. Now, if you want to put cloud flats on the field, you can just simply hit wire triangle and then up on the right stick, and it puts them back on the field. But the thing is that you have to, I believe you have to shade underneath before you can do that. Yeah, you have to. So you have to shade underneath first. So you wire triangle down on the right stick, that's hard flats, and then in order to put cloud flats on the field, you have to shade them underneath first, and then you can do wire triangle up on the right stick, and now the cloud flats are there. If you just do wire triangle and then up on the right stick at first, it's going to put curl flats on the field, which you don't want. So you always shade underneath first and then shade over top, and that puts your cloud flats on the field. That's what you want on the field if you're expecting stuff like corner routes, things like that. So this is going to give up the flats, but not much else. And your job is to just stay here over the middle of the field and wait for the block shed to come in. They try to throw the ball, you're there, you pick it off. That is what you do on this play. You patrol the middle of the field. You let everything else go to work. The reason this cover 4 is so good and the reason people are running it this year is because it's probably one of the best ways to stop corner routes since they adjusted the zones. Those deep zones will jump corner routes, and if you have the cloud flats on the outside, it's even better. And like I said, you just patrol over the middle of the field. If they want to check it down to the flats, that's fine. Check it down, and then you come up and make a hit. That's all you're giving up. If all you're giving up is the flats every play, you're good. And then when they least expect it, that's when you shade underneath. You put hard flats on the field, and now you're taking the flats away. They just expect it to be open, and then bam. Now he just completely whiffed there. That should have been a pick 6 going the other way. But that's how you want to play this defense. You want to pretty much keep the cloud flats on the field, a good bit of the time, and then when they're least expecting it, that's when you want to put the hard flats on the field, and they go attack the flats again, and that's exactly what should happen there. A pick 6 going the other way. That's what you want to do. Now, other things we can do with this defense that's good is you can actually cross man with safeties this year. So this is a good defense to do this out of. So if you want to do that, we would say, let's get on Gibson here. Let's say we're expecting Miller to come over the middle of the field on a deep cross or on a post route. We can man him up by clicking A or X, depending on what system you're on, up on the right stick, and then you select his icon, and you see that'll man him up. And then we can take this safety, and we can do the same thing with Hopkins. A or X, up on the right stick, we click Hopkins' icon, and now he is cross-manned. Now, when you do this, you need to patrol this deeper area of the field because you're leaving it wide open. So we do that, and now we just want to stay deep. We want to stay deep. Any deep threat we see, we want to be on it, and there's just nothing they can do. Nothing's open. So that's another wrinkle you can do out of that. The cross-man technique is a little more advanced. If you're more of a beginner, just run it as is with either putting the hard flats or the cloud flats on the field. If you're a little more advanced, you can man them up, or you could just man one guy up too if that's a little bit better. Like, let's say you want the cloud flats on the field because you're scared of the corners, but you're also scared of that running back leaking out into the flat. You could take this safety, man him up on the running back. So now you know you have the corner and the flat taken care of over there. And now your job is just controlled over here. And now they panic, maybe they throw it to the flats. That should have been a pick six going the other way. That's why this defense is good. There's a lot of adjusting you can do out of it. And what makes it good is that it's cover 4. So by default, it is going to do a pretty good job against the run. Because those safeties, you see how they attack there? I'm going to go back on to the replay here to show this. When you're in cover 4, the safeties are in run fit. So watch how the safeties react so quickly to the run. You see how they don't drop back when it's a run? Because they're playing the run fits. They're realizing that the run is a possible threat, so they kind of stay put, and then they immediately attack. And you see how this safety comes in, hits the gap, and he prevents our running back from getting more than 3 yards. That's why this is so good, because you're really in a pass defense, but you're also able to control the run. You're able to contain it and not just give up huge gaps in the run game. And that's why I like to walk them down a little bit further, just because it makes it even better. So this defense is really good. It's good against corner routes. You have the ability to easily take away the flats by playing underneath, or like I said, you can play the cloud flats and then, let's say, man up the running back if you're worried about that, man up the tight end if you're worried about him going to the flats, and then when you do that, you patrol deep. You patrol deep, make sure there's no deep posts coming over the middle, and then eventually the block shed gets there. Now, if you're dealing with a fast quarterback that can run, the only other thing you might want to do is you might want to drop one of these middle linebackers into a spy and then control the other one. You can drop a safety into a spy, but then if you do that, again, remember that you need to kind of control deep back here. So that's the only other thing. You definitely can scramble with a quarterback on this play, but make sure that if you have an opponent with a fast quarterback, throw a spy out there every once in a while to keep them off balance. So very good defense. Definitely get in practice mode and try this out. So here's some gameplay footage of it, of an online game I was playing. Steelers versus Steelers. I'm in the white here. You see he tries to run the ball. I'm in the 3-4 over defense. I completely stuff him. Nowhere for Bell to go. And then, as you're going to see coming up here later on the drive, he does wind up getting a first down. But now we're going to lock him up and force him into a bad read. We're in the 3-4 defense. We're trying to just cover all the routes over the middle. You see me here, user and Lev Bell. He throws a forced pass into the end zone, and we're able to get the pick. And that's basically how it's going to wind up for you in games. If you get used to it and use it this way, you're going to force a lot of bad passes. You're going to contain the run, and you're really going to frustrate your opponent. So definitely lab this up, take it into the game, and see what it can do for you. If you guys enjoyed this video, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.